The latest Azimuth upgrade has introduced many new features to your system. Most of them you can find when you're creating and editing arrangements. First of all, the function to add events to an arrangement has been moved over here to the arrangement column for consistency reasons. Click on the little plus icon in the upper left and choose if you want to add a single event, several recurring events within a specified time period, or choose to use the event wizard, which I will explain in a second. As always, the added events will be based on the event information on the right, so they will all have the chosen category, location, participants, and so on. The event wizard has been tested and used by selected clients so far, and we've now decided to release it to all our customers. It allows you to easily plan a list of events on the same day, like one-on-one teaching or additions, for example. If you want to book one-on-one teaching for a specific professor, for example, you can choose the category, the location, and the professor on the right, and then you add the students to the specific slots for that day on the left. Choose which role you want to book the persons in, set a duration and a gap, and then start adding the persons after the auto-listed time slots by typing their name. Over here you can see that we've also improved the location list. It will now check the availability of locations for all events you're trying to book, so you will no longer have to go through the class check to find out if the location is actually available for all of them. The available locations are presented in black, the unavailable ones will be grayed out at the bottom of the list. If a location is not available on all selected dates, you will be warned with an exclamation mark. The next big improvement is the class check itself. It has both been redesigned and reprogrammed to provide you with a smoother use experience. You can now handle all clashes directly in the clash checker, so you don't have to go back anymore. Exclamation marks warn you of clashes, and check marks tell you that there are no clashes. Clicking on the icons will also unfold more information about the event and the clashes. As always, you can open the clashing event in a new tab by clicking on the event link if you want to resolve the clash in that event. The changes will then immediately be visible in the clash checker once you click on the update icon. Of course, you can also resolve the clashes by changing the information of the events you're trying to book. You can change or remove the location, and you can remove single persons or all persons from the event. If there are only person clashes, you will be able to override all clashes, which means that you simply double book all persons. The checkmark with a black background tells you that this event will be saved with clashes. You can also decide to skip one or more clashing events, meaning that these events will simply not be booked. Once you're done resolving the clashes, the clash checker will then run once more to see if there have been any changes causing more clashes in the meanwhile. Otherwise, it will save the events with all changes you have made. Another new feature is an additional arrangement view. Apart from the list view and the view sorted by specific days, there's now a third button which will show all participants of every single event within the arrangement. Finally, we've added the possibility of copying a whole arrangement. If you select all events of the arrangement you want to copy, you can do so by clicking the copy button on top. Choose a name for the new arrangement and choose the new starting date, and then decide if you want to include the locations and the persons in the copied arrangement. Finally, you can decide to either hop to the new arrangement or to stay in this one. Another new function is now available under bulk update events. This is a function that you can use if you have changed the persons in a person group and you want to apply these changes to all events that this person group has been booked for. In order for this to work, you need to have several things in place. Let's say I have a person group called Year 2 Bassoon, for example. Now I have to create a tag that corresponds exactly to the name of this person group. When I've done this, I have to make sure that all arrangements where this person group is attached are tagged correctly. The best way to do this, of course, is to add the tag right away when you schedule an arrangement with the person group. Now I can show you how bulk update events works. Currently there's only one type of bulk update you can choose, namely to update the person groups in all tagged events. You can choose if you only want to replace participants, meaning removing the ones that have been removed from the person group and adding the new ones, or if you want to add new participants only. Select the time period or date range for which you want to perform the action, and then select the roles you want to include. Finally, you can select the person group tags for which you want to perform the action, and you click on Preview Changes. Then you will see a list of all the events with this tag that will be updated. If you hover the mouse over the checkbox on the left, you can see what exactly will be done. If you want to exclude single events, you can just deselect them, then they will not be updated. Otherwise, you just select all and click Update Events. Then the changes you've made in the person group will be transferred to all the events you have selected. If you have the Event Management module, you can now also print the upcoming events overview, including the filters you have applied. You just have to choose a date range which you want to print and choose if you want to include event details or not. Azimut will then generate a nicely styled printout for you. Furthermore, we've added a page that shows all your system and support settings. It appears under Help in the upper right corner right here. Here you can see if you have a support agreement, where to find our online forum, how to contact our customer support, and it lists all custom settings for your system, for example regarding booking rules, setting for add-on modules, and so on. The last thing I'd like to show you is a very nice feature in the mobile interface, which will make it easier for students to find a room for practice. You can find it under Book a Room. Just set a minimum duration for your booking and choose in which interval and what day you want to practice. When you click on Find Me a Room, Azimut will check the availability of all locations, taking your personal booking rules and allowances into account. Then you can pick the room you want and eventually adjust your booking within the available time span, which is presented in green.